Hey guys, it's Thursday morning. We're going to a job where they have 4 or 5 outlets out not working, and then they've got a light fixture that's broken, literally broken off the wall outside. Maybe a kid hit it with a basketball or something, who knows. And a few other little items there as well. I'm just going for a little while. I don't think I'm gonna be staying with Vinny today. I'm not feeling the best, but I'm going there just to see what's going on with the electrical with him. And then his mom is going to come and pick me up, and he's going to go ahead and do this job by himself. There's about 5 or 6 items. Anyway, I just thought I'd videotape this part here just in case we do get some video. We'll have an introduction into what we're doing. So the place is only 2 minutes away from my house. That's the good part. If I start feeling really rough, Alicia can come and get me or something. So, all right, guys, you can't see this, but it's flickering. Go ahead, turn it on. It's flickering a little bit. We're thinking about doing a ballast bypass right here because the fixture itself is still good, but these 3 outlets are out. 1, 2, and 3, and the one behind the fridge. I'm thinking this is on a GFCI, and it's feeding this one. This one's working. So either this wire is loose here, maybe, and not feeding this one, or this wire is good and it is feeding this one, but it's loose here, feeding these here. So I think what we could start is we'll start with this one just to see what we got, and then we'll maybe look at that one after. Okay guys, this is a single hit. There's only 2 wires coming here, so it's not coming this way. It's probably coming this way. So now we're gonna check and see what else is on here.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is cut it from the blue wires and the red wire. The red wire goes on that side. Blue wire goes on this side for these 2. Hook up the blue to the white and then the black to the red. It can be vice versa, but that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so it's bypassed. Took the ballast out. Blue with white, red with black. I'm gonna put the cover back on, test the light bulbs, and put the cover back on, the other cover. Alright, I'm gonna flip the switch. Lights are on. Now I'm gonna put the cover back on.
Okay guys, it's a bad breaker. I went over to the breaker panel, and there's only 4 outlets on that one breaker, but it looked like it was on the on position, but I started going through the breaker panels and slinging them over and slinging them back, and it just seems to be a bad breaker. It's real loose too, so we're going to get into that breaker and figure out why it's loose. This is the breaker, guys, right here. This is the breaker down here, Vinny, this bottom one, and if you notice, it's loose. See? Quite a bit. These are all nice and firm. So let's take this panel off and let's check this breaker out. Alright guys, this is the breaker, and she's a little wiggly, but we're just going to replace her. So I guess just something. Hold that. Oh, maybe I should put my light. Okay guys, let's see if I don't want to touch the clip. I'm going to push on this side and break away here. There we go.
Oh, he jumped.
This breaker don't look bad. Okay, take the wire off of there. This is a 20. Get one of these at Home Depot. Okay, when you go. So just take that with you. Tuck the wire in a little bit where it's safe. And we're good to go. Ooh, oh, you jumped too. I didn't jump. Yeah, you did. Alright, so now let's just put a wire nut on that and leave it open. But just put a wire nut on it. Okay guys, she's saying that the toilet's running, and it is. See, it's running because this is not adjusted right. This float has to go down. When the float goes down, when you adjust that and the float goes down, the water level goes down. You bring that float up, then the water level comes up. So we're going to just go ahead and make this one here is going to be an easy fix, I think. And I don't let all the water out to test it. I just dump it a little bit. I think we're going to be good. Let's see.
Good luck.
And then this. Oh, look at that. We're doing good. Okay, so maybe something's wrong with the fluid master. We're going to have to get a clip for that, Vinny.
Give it a flush.
It's a bad valve. It's all the way up. And it overflows. So you need a new fluid master.
So how's the angle stop?
So the angle stop looks good.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, we'll have to do an emergency shut off to the building.
Okay.
We'll start with that. If that gives you problems after you open it, you'll tighten the packing nut. You'll support the back of the valve and tighten the packing nut while it's in a middle position. And then open it up and see if it leaks again. But if it doesn't, you're fine. If it does, we'll just do emergency water shut off. But I think you should be fine. Alright guys, we pretty much know what we got there now. We got a breaker. We got a ballast bypass kit for the fluorescent lighting in the kitchen. We've got a fluid master and a broken light fixture outside. I guess they put a new roof on and they broke the light fixture outside. Vinny said he'll get me some video of everything. It'll be short, but he'll get me some video. So I'll be able to.
Should I just put the old light fixture back on? It was only right.
But no, I would put a new one. Yeah. Alright. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna go with him to Home Depot. I have this breaker on the truck. On my truck, not his, but we're gonna pick it up at Home Depot. If Home Depot don't have it, then he's gonna go through his breakers, and if he don't have it, he's gonna go through mine. But I know we have the Eden classified, which fits like 4 or 5 different brands. You guys got to look into the Eden classified brands. They made like a universal breaker that fits a bunch of different panels, and it's classified, by the way. So they're good to go. You can use them. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to just go with him to Home Depot, and then he's going to drop me off home for the rest of the day. Alright guys, and he found the breaker.
I think so. Hold on, let me check it out. Guys, you give it like 20 minutes, I'll be there.
Perfect, guys. He's crossing referencing it with his phone to make sure it's compatible. Looks good to me, Vinny. Looks real good. He's checking it on his phone. He has an app that can cross-reference these breakers. I don't know what app it is. I don't know. Well, he's doing it. See. He's also got another one here. You can take them both if you want, Vinny.
This is the breaker we pulled out. I'm replacing it with the Simons. Right in there. Alright, there it is. It's replaced. I'm gonna go check out the outlets. Alright, we got power restored to the outlets. Correct, 2 yellows. Alright guys, so this light fixture fell off. It took off some of the bracket. still holes in there. On there, one underneath the spider web over here. Right there. I can use that. I'm going to use long wood screws depending on the size. And because some plastic fixture, I'm going to use this to space it out so it's not like free floating. Now if the metal bracket can hang over on each side of the stucco, I won't need those right here. I just grabbed it anyways just in case. So I'm going to open it up and see what I need to do. The bracket was able to reach on the stucco, so I don't need the supports on the back side. There's just long screws like it's the plastic. And yeah, there's a slight crack, but the screw's really deep and it got a good bite. No wobble. Now I'm just gonna get down, kind of eyeball the screws. It's kind of uneven, so I'm gonna loosen it up in the middle. Straighten up the screws. The bracket's gonna be crooked, but the screws are gonna be lined up. And then I'll wire the fixture in. All right, it's wired up. Straight. No, it's not. It needs to be kicked a little bit to the right. Like that. And then it'll be straight. So I'm gonna undo it, loosen it, and then straighten it out. Alright, now it's straight. Now I'm gonna put the bulb in, put the top on, and I should be done. Alright guys, I'm all done. It's on. It's off. Alright, we're all done. I'm just gonna clean up this stuff and head out. Alright, so I pulled the old one out. I'm gonna install it with a new one. It's a little long, so I'll put a little loop in it and make it look good. When we do a fill valve, we like to replace it with old new stuff. So here we go. Alright, it's matched. I'm gonna install it. This one didn't have a clip. It comes with a clip, so I'll cut it to fit and then install it inside that. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is have the existing one. It was kind of filling up. Well, technically it was filling all the way up, but this was working before. I'm gonna put it where these two black things match, like that, and then I'm gonna lower this to match that. But before I do that, I'm gonna center this. That way I have wiggle room. Like that. Now, match it up. Like that. And see, lower it until it matches. That bucket caught all the water. And now I'm just gonna replace it. So, here it is, it's installed. Now, all done.
Hey guys, I'm on my way to the first job. Vinny got there about an hour ago. It's a leaking into the guy's living room from up above. He's got a bathroom up there. I think Vinny's cut a hole where it was leaking, and he says it's the toilet. It needs to be reset. He said the waistline looks good, but not so much the wax ring. You can see it from underneath. But with that being said, we're headed over there. I'm like an hour and a half late. I've never felt this way in my life, where I just don't have no energy. And I mean, I've always been go up at 5:30 in the morning and ready out the door at 7 and whatever. But I do have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. Hopefully I'll be putting an end to this bullshit. But anyway, I'm headed to Vinny's. Hopefully he got some video for me that I can put in on this video. See what happens. Should be there in a couple minutes. He ran out of gloves, so I'm bringing him some gloves. We keep them in the garage. So, all right, guys, see you there.
All right, so we have a leak right here. There's a little patch. I'm gonna cut it open and see what's going on here. All right, guys, so I opened the hole. Looks like a toilet waste line. All right, so I asked her to flush the toilet.
All right, there he is. There's the problem. This is something I've been talking about. When you use the reinforced, extra thick reinforced, this won't happen. See, this was set. This toilet was set on one side first and then the other side. But then when you flip it this way, it leaves a little gap there. Eventually the water makes its way through there. If this would have been a reinforced object, right here, a reinforced one, when they sat the toilet down this way first and then put the toilet this way, this would have came back up. It would have floated. I'm going to cut one of these open one day, guys, and show you. But this part, you understand what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. If you use the reinforcement, what happened was they didn't set that toilet right. They set that toilet to the left. They set it going down crooked, and they smashed this side first. Then they evened it out this way.
I get what you're saying.
Right, and then this didn't come back up. It stayed deformed. Where if you have the reinforced one, this will pop back up. So that's why I like the reinforced. If I can, and you can only get it with the horn, so you got to take it or leave it. So I take it with the horn. But like I said, if you cock it, it'll be good to go.
I know what you mean by one side and the other.
Now, don't throw all that away. If you would.
You want me to reuse it?
No, what I'd like you to do is take some of this wax with your spatula.
Okay.
And just fill in. See where the tile meets the waistline? Right there? Mm-hmm. Where the wood is and all that? See all those cracks underneath the tile? Just take some of that wax with a putty knife and fill it in around the tile area. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then throw it away. And then put your new one.
Can you pass me the bag? Oh, wait.
I'm going to get out of your way and let you do this. But
just pass me the bag if you want.
What is the...
Right here?
What is the... you got a new water supply line for that? You do on your truck. Put a new wax ring, new supply line, everything. Okay, son? Okay. All right, and then you'll get the rest of the video on this for me.
Okay.
Thank you. See, guys, there's a little bit of... he can use that wax to fill in just like that all the way around. That it's not needed, but because there's an issue there, might as well just fill it all up, make it all solid, make it all waterproof, be done with it. And you see how there's no reinforcement in the middle of that, guys? If you wouldn't be able to do that to this one here you'd hit like a thing of foam. And it goes down and it'll come back up. Anyway, I'm going to let him do that. And we'll go from there. Let me get a picture of what you're doing with the wax ring. Put the there you go. And get a finishing picture of it, alright?
Alright guys, so I pushed all that wax into the crack. Now I'm going to put that wax ring on top and then set this toilet. Alright, so the wax ring is on. I'm gonna lift this glacier bag on to this wax ring and put a new hose, some water supply line onto this baby. I might go do that right now first, so it's easier. Alright, so I already flushed it, ran down there. You're gonna see it'll drip. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stand up here and flush it like 3 or 4 times. If I see a puddle downstairs, that means it's leaking. No puddle, we're chilling. There's plastic on the floor, it's taped.
down, so it's not going to be a big mess if it did flood a little bit, but same thing from the stairs. I don't want to lose my shape, so. Alright, I was gonna flush it one more time, but I just noticed how the water goes all the way up to almost right here. So before I flush it, I'm gonna bring that thing down. You can see that screw's going up, this one here, counterclockwise. Let's get some. Alright, I think we have to flush it. We'll let it fill one more time just to see what it goes right there. And then we'll go check downstairs. Alright, so now it stops a little bit below that, which is a lot better. You can see it. It's about, only like an 1/8 or 3/16. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna counterclockwise more. Pour a little bit out. Splash on like downstairs. That'll do right there. That looks good. There you go. Gonna go check downstairs. Alright, so I'm going down here to check out the water. I dried that pipe off just so we can see if it was leaking. There's existing water stain looking, but there's no more leak. That was already wet before. There's just the paper that's wet. Down here, it's all dry. I left the powder there just so it'd collect up if it did leak. But it is dry. I'm gonna go flush it maybe 4 more times and then check it out one more time. As you can see, it's a little bit wet right there, but that could even be like ABS glue looking, since the leak was on the outside of the wood, like where my light is shining. Now where it's right there. Alright, so this one has deep shim. I shimmed here, shimmed there. I'm gonna cut it off with my razor blade and then push it in a little bit more, then tighten the bolts and then caulk it. But before I caulk it, I gotta hook that up and run it a few times. Alright, so I cut the shims right there. And then I packed them in after I cut them. And then after I packed them in a little bit, I tightened those things down. The nuts. Not too tight because you don't want to crack the bowl. Then I hooked up the water supply line. Turning it on. So I'm going to fill it up. I'm going to give it a couple test runs. Let me fill it up. Okay. Once I fill it up, do a couple test runs, make sure it's not leaking downstairs. And then I'm going to caulk around it and then clean up downstairs.